In this video, I wanted to look in a little bit more detail at our brand and very substantial new title, Advances in Breeding of Dairy Cattle, which is edited by Professor Julius van der Werf of the University of New England, Australia, and Professor Jenny Price, who is Principal Research Scientist in the Department of Economic Development, Jobs, Transport and Resources at the State of Victoria, as well as Professor at La Trobe University in Australia. Part 1 provides an overview of current developments in breeding. Part 2 looks at managing genetic diversity. Part 3 looks at breeding objectives and genetics in new traits. Part 4 looks at genetic selection and evaluation, whilst the final part, Part 5, looks at reproductive technologies and breeding programs. Well, to give you a feel for what the book is like, I've picked out 2 chapters. First, from Part 1, is Chapter 5 on opportunities and challenges in crossbreeding of dairy cattle by Bradley Hines of the University of Minnesota. Interest in crossbreeding of dairy cattle has become a topic of great interest in the last 10 years in response to concerns about issues such as fertility and stillbirths in Holstein cattle. This chapter summarised landmark crossbreeding research at the University of Illinois, as well as crossbreeding research in places such as Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the United States, Ireland and Germany. From Part 2, I picked out a related chapter, Chapter 7, on advances in dairy cattle breeding to improve fertility and reproductive efficiency. And this is written by Meccanan Haile Mariam and Jenny Price of Agriculture Victoria and La Trobe University. And this picks up themes from Chapter 5. The decline of fertility in high-yielding dairy cows over the last decade is a major concern. This chapter reviews progress in understanding the role of genetics in addressing the decline in fertility. It reviews ways of measuring fertility and their use for genetic evaluation, as well as the use of genomic data to improve reproductive performance. Well, I'll conclude, if I may, by quoting a leading expert in this area. That's Professor Hans Lenstra of Utrecht University, who's Editor-in-Chief of Animal Genetics. And he's been kind enough to say, Professor van der Werf and Dr. Price are leading experts and have assembled an excellent team for a book describing the current state of the art. The volume will contribute to the dissemination of advanced breeding technology to breeders, scientists and other stakeholders in the dairy industry. There is no doubt it will also stimulate new developments in this area of research. Well, we hope this book will be a standard reference in breeding exciting new research in this important field.